Hello again, this is Chirag, and in this video let's take a look into SharePoint's various page types and page customizations. So in SharePoint terminology, page types are technically page content types, just for your information. And here I have 4 page types, and I have added some of the characteristics, and these things are important to the site admins in case of like deciding when to use it and where to use it, each page types. And recall, a page is a one type of document in a SharePoint, and a document is ultimately a list item. There are also other page types exist, but they all fall into one of the above page types. So you will see later, like you also have the option to create a basic page, which is some sort of a wiki page. And you have also enterprise wiki page, master page, HTML page layout, project page, etc. Also, there are restrictions on the type of page you can create based on type of page library as well. SharePoint's page model is actually more complex, and we are not covering this in this video. Let's take a look into each page type and create some pages. With Wiki Page, the purpose is to allow end users to edit the page, hence name Wiki Page. It also allows the ability of in-browser content modification, adding web parts, but no publish mechanism. With that, you also have quick page creation and faster edits, and few text layouts are also available to choose from. So here I have a site. If I want to add a new wiki page, I'll go to site actions and click add a page. As soon as I type tips for investment, and you can see here it right there shows me the location of the page and the library site pages. Now when I click, it shows me right away that newly created page in edit mode, and I can start typing here. So let me add some sample text here, and then once I select the text, I have the range of HTML modification functions here in the ribbon control. So I can easily make that text as a title, and then insert start typing some paragraph, and then once I select this, I have the ability to actually sort of change the font here and also font size. So see easily how easily the end user or the site editor, page editor, can make changes to the wiki page. But apart from this HTML modification functions, I also have the ability to insert text layouts. So when I click this button, text layout, I have the by default I have the one column text layout, but I can also select other text layout as well. This is a text layout, one column with sidebar. I have like 2 columns with a header, and then most flexible of the header section, content section, and then the footer section, like that. Then I can also add web parts to this. So if I want to add a simple web part here, I will go to insert tab and then choose either app part or a web part button here. So we will discuss app part versus web part later in the video series. But if I want to add an app part, means a widget based on the list view, I'm selecting task here because I know that there are some task records into this list. And if I click add, right there I have the text view, list view web part for the task list. So this is how easily you can modify the content of the page. Once I'm convinced that my page is ready, I click save button here, and SharePoint now will give me the display mode of that particular page. So one thing here to notice is while I am modifying this page, I have the option to click edit button here or go to the page and click edit here. So while I'm editing this page here right now, the default behavior is other users can also do the modification in parallel to the same page. So if I want to prevent other users from modifying this page while I am actually modifying it, I will click the checkout button here, and as soon as I check out, you see that now SharePoint has given me exclusive access to this page modification. And if some other user tries to go to the page, they won't be able to edit it. So I have another user here and I have the same page. So I'm just gonna go to site pages library again and then go to this page, and you can see the page is here, and it also shows me this message. Even if I go to here in the ribbon control and I try to edit it, it won't allow. The ribbon button is disabled. So this is something that you have at least a little bit of a control over page modification. If I want to rename the page, I will actually go to this again with my user account, and then oh, one more thing. Once I make these changes after checkout, I have to click check-in here, and then SharePoint will actually save my changes for that particular page. If I make any changes and I don't like my changes after checkout, I have the ability also option to discard the checkout. So if I click discard checkout, this text will be gone. So click OK and see the changes I made is gone because I discarded the checkout. And so if I want to rename this page, I will click edit, and then I will go to page and then this button that says rename page, and I can make a new name here also. Okay, and if I save now, what will happen is tips for investment. I can say 8 tips for investment and save now. You can see here now my page name is changed. Alright, with the web part page, the purpose is to add web parts in specific layout on the page, hence name web part page. You also have no ability for in-browser HTML content edit, and also no publish mechanism. However, you have check-in check-out functionality just like Wiki Page. You also have limited choice of layouts available, not text layouts. These are the page layouts. No control over also available layouts as well. So here in the site, if I want to add a web part page, if I go to site actions and click this button, it will create a wiki page here. The reason is because the default page type for the page library is wiki page, not the web part page. So how would I create a web part page? You go to site pages library from here, from the navigation, or you can go to site contents here and then click site pages library here, and now I have this library. You go to ribbon control and add a new document, and here I have second option as web part page. So once I click the web part page, now see here SharePoint opens up the new page where it says put the name of the page here, but also choose the page layouts, and you can see that I have available page layouts here. Now be mindful that these are not text layouts. Text layouts are different. These are the page layouts, and we will also discuss about page layouts in detail later in the video series. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select the first layout and put say demo web part 1, and it also says overwrite if file already exists. So if there is already a page with the same name, it's gonna overwrite that page if I select this box. So once I select the layout, I have also the save location. Remember, I also mentioned that the page is also one type of document. So this particular section gives me the option saying where do you want to store your new web part page. So by default, I will say store that web part page into site pages library, and then click create, and I have, you can see, the new web part page into edit mode, and now you can see that I have the layout. And see the difference versus Wiki Page. Okay, I have no ability to type text in this particular page, but I have zones here. My whole page actually is divided into fixed layout. So where I have header, I have left column, middle column, right column, and footer. And then I can add a web part. So I can say I want to add a heading title. I want to add some text. I want to add some heading text into it. So I go into media and content and choose this content editor web part and add to it. And then I can click add here and say page title or heading, like that. And then I can say I want to add a web part into this, and then I go here into apps and say I want to display some documents here and click add. So you can see that in a left column documents list view widget is added, and here I have the content editor web part. And then I go to page and say stop editing. So I can also do stop editing here, and here is my page in a display mode. Now the problem here is that you can see that the web part's heading is also appearing. So what if I want to get rid of this web part title? So click edit and then select this drop down, and this is your web part, and say edit web part, and in appearance you can say default Chrome type and say none. So you have also the title and border, title only and border only. So you can select none, click apply and click OK, and then stop editing, and you have the page heading here. So these are the basic operation you want to perform with the web part page. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that there is no publishing mechanism, and you have very limited choice available. So if I edit this page and let's say I want to modify the layout of this particular web part, I have no ability to do that, right? So the reason is once you create the page based on the page layout, that's it. You cannot go back and say I want to change my page layout. So now if I want to rename this page, I will go here and click edit properties, and that's where I have the ability to rename the page. So now another thing is that when I editing the web part page, I have this field here that says content type, and where I have the ability to change the web part page back to Wiki Page as well. So once I do that, you can see that easily it's converted. I wouldn't recommend that to do that, but this is the option that's available. So just for your information, if I want to create another page with different layout, I have to actually go to site pages again and click files, click edit web part page, put some name like demo web part 1, but this time demo web part 2. Oops. And then you select, let's say, header footer 4 columns. It will appear like this, and I can say that I want to store this page in a document library instead of the default site pages library. And if I click create, you have now the second web part page with a different layout. But this time when you stop editing, if I go to documents library, I have the demo web part 1 page here. Okay, so now let's talk about publishing page, and this is one of most innovative features in SharePoint and a part of publishing infrastructure. So to create publishing pages, you need to enable publishing infrastructure features into your site first. It allows you to ability of in-browser HTML content modification, but also with publish mechanism. Checkout, check-in, publish, and approval is enforced now. And you have also few available page layouts, but you can also add new page layouts and modify existing one also. and you have complete control over how the page layout renders the content. So this is a very powerful mechanism. Let's see that in action. So before that, I show you how to create publishing page. I want to show you one difference. So if you go to any news, if you create a new site, let's say based on team site template, and I have this in this new website. This is a Contoso portal I have created, and you can see that this is a very fresh site with no content into it. And when you go here, you have only site pages, and this is not a publishing page library. Okay, so if I want to make this site to have ability to create publishing page, I will go to site actions, site settings, and then first I will go to site collection features. Because this is a root site, that's why so before you enable your site with publishing feature in the site level, you need to also enable the one feature at site collection level. We will also talk about how features are organized in detail later in the video series. So here I have one feature called SharePoint server publishing infrastructure, and the description says provide centralized library content type, master pages and page layouts, and enables pages scheduling and other publishing functionality for a site collection. And you click activate. Once you click activate, you go to site settings again, and then access the site level feature section, and then you activate find the SharePoint server publishing feature, and then you click activate. This feature will add certain libraries into your site. So if I go back to intranet.contoso site website here, I have that features both enabled, and the difference will be this. So if I go to site content for this site, you can see I have now pages library, I have now site collection documents, I have workflow task, site collection images. There's all sorts of new libraries added by SharePoint when I enable those features. So if I go to the Contoso website, this is the library by default I get when I create a new site. So this is something that you need to take into consideration when using or creating new publishing pages in your site. So now in this site I have the required features and libraries are available. I can go ahead and create publishing pages. Before creating pages, I will just add a shortcut to here. So in this navigation, I click add edit link, and then drag this library right there and click save. So I have a shortcut now. So and I go to the pages library, and by default there is a one page added. It says page not found error. This is the default SharePoint new way of handling page not found problems. So if somebody bookmarked one page and the page is not there or renamed, they will see this page instead of the actual page because the page is not there. Now to add a new publishing page, I will go to Files tab here and click New Document, and I will see Page, Article Page, Welcome Page, and Error Page. 4 options here. The reason why I'm getting these 4 options is because if I go to Library tab and Library Setting, I have this content type, and you can see that I have Page Content Type, Article Page, Welcome Page, and Error Page. And the default content type is the page content type right now, and I can change that. So if I want to, let's say, make an article page content type as my default content type, I will go to content type and make article as click 1 in a first position and click OK. Okay, so now let's create the default one page. If I go here and click page, again, just like the web part, I will get the page layout section now. Okay, and then I have the title. I say home page, and then you can see as soon as I go into this particular, it actually gives me suggests me the name. So let's say if I delete this again, and if I say home page, what happened is that let me cancel what happens. So I want to show you something, that what if you put home page, and it will actually give you option like this, home dash page. So it replaces the all the space with the dashes. Okay, and I have this page layouts here to choose from. Let's say I want to add a blank web part page as my home page, and if I click create, I have now the home page, and it is already checked out. See, that's what I was talking about, is that now the checkout check-in is enforced, and you can see that it says page layout here, which is a blank web part page. Okay, so based on the type you select, it actually adds the page layout as well, and each page layout points to the content type. This whole page layout versus content type relationship we will discuss in detail later in the video series. So let's click the home page here. Now you can see that this already checked out here, and because I haven't checked in this page, the page is no more there for any other user. So if I go to the same site and I refresh this site, and I have the pages library, okay, see, the page is not here for the Ross Taylor user, because I created the page but I haven't checked in or published that page once. So the page is actually not there for any other user. So now I have this checked out by me, and I can say I want to edit this page, and now I have a page content section where I can just like edit the content like this. Say page heading, similar to Wiki Page, but now I have also the ability to add web parts in a particular fashion. So if I want to add a task list, I will go to apps and then select task and click add. So now I have a task list here. If I want to add a documents library right here, I will go to and select documents and click add here. Okay, and click save. So now I have, see, very strictly laid out page, and still all my changes are actually checked out. Right now all my changes are in a draft mode. That means when I check it in, it saves that. I have also the ability to discard the check-in or discard the checkout. Right now discard checkout is not there, is because I haven't checked in my changes single time. So let me check in my changes, and I can put some notes saying initial draft 1 change, and if I click continue, now I have checked in version, and it says publish it. And if I again do checkout, if I, let's say, after checkout I do edit and I put some text, now I have the ability to discard the checkout. Okay, so once I discard the checkout, again it says still your changes are saved in a draft mode, but you need to publish it so that the other users can see your changes. So once I publish it, if I go to this as this user, refresh the page, now I have the home page, because now this page is actually published version of the page, and internally the whole process actually takes care of the versioning. So if I go to here and click, say I want to see all the version history, I will see my changes here right there. Okay, and same thing, I can also access those commands from here as well. So this is the version history box in a ribbon control. So when I created this home page, I said go to files and then click new documents and then use these options, right? The first reason is that this option appears here is because if I go to libraries and library setting, I have the content type section here and added these 4 options, and I can add other content types, and it will that particular button will start showing those options as well. And you can see that by default the page type is the default content type here. Okay, now what about these 2 buttons? If I click upload button, I get the regular upload dialog, sorry, and I can upload the document into Pages library. This is not recommended, and there are reasons behind why it is not recommended. We cancel. Now if I right now click this new button, it shows me all these 4 options right here, right, which is easier than clicking this ribbon button and clicking this button, this drop down. So why? The reason why, because right now SharePoint gives me this option because my SharePoint site is actually integrated with another SharePoint platform product called Office Online Server. So that means if my SharePoint environment don't have that product installed and integrated with SharePoint, it will show me this dialog when I'm clicking this button. Okay, so just for your information, what things gets changed based on what things are integrated into the SharePoint environment. Now if I want to enforce approval, that means I am the library owner, I am the site owner, and under me 2 people are working, and that 2 people can add pages into this library or site, but I want to enforce an approval process for this library. So to do that, I go to library settings and then go to versioning settings here, and select this require content approval for submitted items. Once I do that, what will happen is, and right now you can see that it added approval status column right here, and it says approved and approved. The reason is because the home page is actually created by me, right, not the Ross Taylor. So now let's do one thing. Let's create one more page, and this time let's create an article page and say article 1, and you can see that dash is added here because I have a space in the title. Now let's just select body only page, or let's just select a blank web part page and click create. Now I have just a one web part, and you can see right now it's in a draft mode. Okay, so if I go to here, I say edit a page, I'm gonna add some content to it, just a random content, and then I'm gonna say check in. So once I check in, and I can say publish. Now so this is some of the things that I actually see that with the new edition of SharePoint is the publish it doesn't work. Instead it should show you submit for approval. While I go to publish tab here in the ribbon control, it actually does that. So if I do that submit, then it actually does that. It says visitor can't see this page until it is approved, and you have approved it. So when I click it, it doesn't work as well, right? The reason why, because Ross Taylor is actually the user with contribute permission. This Ross Taylor user does not have permission for approving the pages. So if I go back to the site as my account and hit a refresh, now I have the article 1 here. So and here is the thing, it says pending approval. Okay, so if I go here and I can say click approve here, or I can also go to the library, and it may be like if other users submitted approval, then other documents will also appear here. So in the single view I will have all the document that says pending approval. So if I can also filter by saying show me all the pending records, and then I will go here and say advanced and approve or reject. I can also do cancel approval. That means I'm rejecting, canceling the approval of this document. So if I go here, I have say approve, rejected, or pending. I can also comment that and things like that. So for just a simple say approved this time, click OK, and now the article is approved and other users can see it. So let's say if I have another user here, Chris Evans, and that person, I'm refreshing it. So you can say that article 1 is here. So because this is approved change. Now let's go back and go to the same page again as Ross Taylor. I'm gonna refresh the page one more time, and this time I'm say edit the page, okay, and this time I'm gonna change this page heading, just a one change, so that we notice what's been changed. And I'm gonna do the again check in and publish this draft. So I'm gonna publish this, sorry, submit this for approval. And now again, once I hit as a Chirag Patel this same page again, I have the article 1 page again and says pending approval. Okay, if I go by any other user who has only read-only permission user, so right now this Chris Evans, the third user who has read-only site, so you can see the ribbon is not appearing here and the controls are gone because this user has read-only access to the entire site. So now the article 1 is here. If I refresh this, see, it doesn't show me the changes because the changes are not published, or sorry, approved. The publish of the content only appears to the user who has the approval ability, approving the content ability. So I'm saying, okay, approve it, approving this, and say continue. All right, if I go as Chris Evans user again and hit this refresh, I have the page heading changes here. Okay, so this is the approval process in a publishing page. The approval process is not just limited to publishing page library or anything. It also can work with the site pages or any other list or library in the site. So it will be a little bit different, but most of the time the approval process for publishing page works like this. So the last one is the application page types. Let's talk about that page types. So if I go back to my previous slide, here it says application page not at all flexibility. There is no flexibility. You have complete control over what page does, but all the pages are admin only. And also you cannot edit application pages like all these other 3 page types. Okay, and here also the scope is farm wide and location is on the web server file system. And you cannot add into additional columns to this type of pages. And also there is no specific fixed page layout approach also. Okay, so now let's look into what the application page types are. Now if I go to here in this site, okay, if I click site contents, here you can see in the address bar, this is the site content page looks like. Okay, so also if I go to site actions and site settings, I have this. So here is my settings page, and here is that's where this page is located. So if I copy these locations into a text file, this is what the address looks like for both type of pages. So site content, this is the address. What happened is that this page is an application page, and SharePoint creates a file system location, and this is the address on the file system. Means this location is not part of the site content database. Okay, same thing settings page. And if you look at the settings page like this, you cannot edit these pages. So that means if I go here, you have no option of editing the page, plus there is no ribbon control here as well. Okay, now what do you mean by these pages are shared across the farm wide? That means I have this another application contoso.com, okay, and you can see that the Contoso application has the location similar to this one. So if I copy and paste, you can see that only this portion is different. Okay, if I have a subsite in this site, let's say subsite anything like, let's say a team site 1, okay, so this page is the same page that I'm accessing from this location. The only thing, because the page will react differently because of this address. Okay, so this is the reason how application page works, and there are certain out of the box specific application pages are there from SharePoint, but your IT team can also develop application pages on their own, and only developers can add those pages into the system and make it available to you. For site administrator and content administrator, that's not an option. There is no way from the UI you can create application pages. Okay. Lastly, one thing I noticed that is improvement over SharePoint 2010 is the ability to add page types to site pages library. So if I go to library and library settings, by default I will have Wiki Page and WebPage, but I can also add other types as well. So the change here is in SharePoint 2010 there was no ability to actually override this setting in the site pages library. So let's say if I want to add a basic page, right? So I can just go ahead and select the content type, click add and click OK, and I have basic page creation as well. So if I go to site pages library, I can go here and click basic page here. Okay, so this concludes this video. Thanks for listening. Bye.